second video on altissimos. I've got my tenor with me, so you can hear a little bit about how that sounds. In the last video I was using my alto, which I have here as well actually. I think it's probably easier to demonstrate on the alto. It's maybe a little bit easier to control than the tenor. So just to explain that, if you liked that song, by the way, that is by a really cool guy called Chez, I think it's how I pronounce it, Chez. Remix of Happy, obviously. And I'll put a link to his SoundCloud and description box. Really, really cool. A lot of his remixes are just so much fun to play over, so check him out. Apologies for the face, bare face. I'm just about to go off for a run after this, once the weather clears, hopefully. And apologies for the get-up as well. I'm sporting a rather nice orange top to get sweaty in. This is actually my charity that I do a lot of work with called Music in Hospitals. Sorry if you can see that. It's my t-shirt from, I ran the London Marathon for them this year. Just such a fantastic charity. I might even do a video on how awesome those guys are, but the basic principle is they send musicians such as myself and my group, which is called City Bells. It's a saxophone quartet, really fun group. We just muck around and play stupid tunes in hospitals and nursing homes and go in and make them laugh, and hopefully the staff as well. Some schools with autism, anyway, all over the place, all over the UK. I'll put a link to Music in Hospitals, and I'll also put a link to my quartet in case you're interested in that in the description box. So here's my tenor, which is a Yanigazawa, and the neck joint is a pink gold plated Yani neck joint. And we've got a Jody Jazz 7-star on here, mouthpiece, and the reed is still a Lavoz. When I'm still doing these videos in like 8 months' time, I'm definitely going to get some comments saying, is that the same reed? Yeah. So yeah, altissimos. So hopefully you've looked at video 1 from this, which was about harmonics and how to kind of learn to control the different areas of the saxophone. So that's kind of the first step towards getting altissimos. Now, I'm trying to actually get the notes. I'm just going to use the ones that work for me, and then I'll put a chart to some different fingerings, a link to an image which will be easier to look at. The first thing to try is just a really intentional squeak. And the way that I first got it was just to put loads of the mouthpiece in my mouth, and that's not a great way to start, but at least you get the idea of how high and loud it's going to be so you don't shy away from it. So maybe if we take quite an easy one, which is like an A, so all fingers down, including your octave key, and then remove your pointing finger on your left hand, so the first finger. Get rid of that guy. So that should come out as that's the note you're going for. If you just try sticking loads in the mouthpiece, then that should work for you fairly easily. So that's good just to get an idea of, wow, this is high and it's loud. Probably the easiest one to try without just shoving loads of the mouthpiece in your mouth. So obviously that's not a viable way of doing it. You'll notice the tuning wasn't that bad, and so it's pretty similar. You know, you might sort of say, well, why don't I just do it that way? But obviously you can't do that whilst playing. You can't suddenly change your positioning on the mouthpiece. You have to be able to do it in your static position. So I think the easiest one I found when I was learning to get out was the top D. I call it super D, which is literally, if you've got an F button, which I think most modern saxes do. If you don't, I don't really have much advice for this apart from see the link to look at other fingerings, but this is the fingering I use for top super D. So literally octave key on and the front button. My chin's really quite far forward. I'm strong at the sides of my mouth. Diaphragm is pushing like someone's about to tickle me, like I'm bracing myself. Like, you know that feeling when someone's about to like count your ribs or something? That must look really funny. If you find you can get that one, it's actually worth doing them in a slightly funny order. So for example, obviously the first one, so you've got your top F, however you like to use it, palm key, or I would actually recommend even just getting used to using your front buttons because they're a similar kind of throat shape. Your throat's got to be really wide. We talked in the last video about opening your throat up and getting that tongue, the back of your tongue, that area, back. And you can see my throat opening up there. Yeah, so that's got to be open to get the right kind of resonance for these to come out, otherwise they're just not going to work for you. So a good stepping stone is maybe try getting used to your front F. If you've not learned it before, it's sort of like an A, but stretched, so that you come onto your button here. If you find it doesn't come out first time, then try slurring, the octave key's on by the way, try slurring from the C a few times and see if you can get that. If you find that you're getting that quite consistently, try adding the E, which is like a G but stretched. So one lower. If you're finding that both of those quite consistent, you spent a couple of weeks on it, try repeating the note again. So that kind of makes you see if you can sound it on its own. So if I do it to the F, I'm going to leave a gap and then repeat the F. Here I go. And then I can do the same to the E. And maybe even extend that. Try and get a few more of them. And see if you can keep re-hitting the note. The more often you do that, the more your body will learn, okay, that's the muscle position, that's the shape I need to be in. Much like learning how to catch a ball, you just don't really think about it eventually. The first time, you know, you're a kid and your mum or dad or your pal throw the ball at you, you just go, ugh. In fact, I think I still do that. We played frisbee the other day, and I had sort of a technique of catching it kind of like this, like crocodile style. That was my method. So I have other qualities, you know. But yeah, so hopefully eventually you get the coordination and it will happen every time. Perhaps not like catching a ball for some people. So yeah, so you've got the front and you've managed to maybe get the super D. Why don't you try the A next, which is the one I sort of started with when we were trying to just put loads of the mouthpiece in your mouth. So try getting the A. So just as a reminder, it's like your D with the octave key, except you're going to remove your pointing finger of your left hand. That's your next note to maybe try. If you're struggling to get that out straight away, first of all, it does really help when someone else is pitching it. So I'm actually just going to do 3 loud blasts now, and you can try having to go alongside me. So, here we go. Here's another. Try joining me for this last one. For some reason, it's really odd. If someone's playing it, you somehow find it easier to pitch it yourself. I think some sort of weird psychological thing going on there. If still it's just honking, 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 don't worry, like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing. You know, you just keep trying, keep trying. It's just something that could take weeks. It's just a coordination thing. You could also try, you could try slowing to it. So if you're confident with your E, let me see if this is helpful. Yeah, you could try slowing to it from the E or the F, the front that you've just learnt, or even taking it in stages and adding that C in that we used originally. So we were originally going C to F, C to F. Maybe we'll go C to E, so there's more fingers down. C to E, C to E, C to E to A. Oops, that's a bad example. C to E to A. Give it a go. Then we're going to check that I can resound that E and I'm not just relying on momentum. And then I'm going to add the A in there. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Probably still struggling and getting really frustrated, like, why am I not working? You're just going to have to keep trying. I must have tried this for like a whole summer until I got it. It was a really unfortunate summer for my flatmate. So yeah, just keep trying them. And then eventually you'll find maybe you'll get the A and D and you're really happy, but actually some of the others don't work. So particularly G took me a long time to get. Something about G is a nasty note. So I'll give you the fingerings that work on, sorry, this is my alto Selma Series 2. And I've got on here a, what have I got? Rosso Studio Jazz mouthpiece, and I think a 3 medium reed on there, which is a Rico Jazz Select. So I'll just show you the fingerings that work for me. I tend to always stick around the front for my E and F as it is. Not because I'm always heading towards an altissimo, I try not to overuse it, but more just because I think they're a rounder sound. So here's your palmy. And F. I just think they're slightly rounder, and you've got this hand free because you're not up here. So if you wanted to sort of tune them down a little, just make them a bit fuller. Just rounds it out a little bit having that hand down. We'll talk about kind of tuning and things in a different video. So I'm going to use my front and I'm going to work my way up. So we've got front E, front F, front F sharp. Here's my front G. So I've got pointing finger and ring finger in my left hand, pointing finger in my right hand, and my B flat key. Sorry, crap. Told you G's were funny. I still use them, even if I'm like, oh, is it going to work? G sharp, change that B flat key to your side C key, which is the middle of the three keys. So go. A we know. Sorry. B flat or A sharp. So it's like my A, but I've just added my D key here. What are we on? B flat. Oh, B. B is a funny one. I haven't really settled with a B, to be honest. What do I sometimes use? I think on the alto I use that. I've got different fingerings for the tenor. So if you're interested in knowing what fingerings I use for the tenor, I'm going to do a link to a chart which has got all the different fingerings so you can try your own. But if you are interested in what I use, then just write a little comment for me and I'll do a quick video or just send you a link to my fingerings for the tenor. But we'll carry on the alto for now. So that was my B. So I've just got my ring finger in my left hand and my D key. C is an odd one. So we've got pointing finger, ring finger. Again in the other hand, pointing finger, ring finger. And then my little finger is on as well. That's right. Yeah, there's my C. C sharp. It's like your E, front E that we learned, but just overblown basically. And then the last one is the super D, which was the first one we learned. So yeah, just to finish off, maybe I'll do a D scale right up to the top there. I might, if my tuning's out, sometimes I might open a key. Mine going a little bit flat. I'm obviously not quite strong enough in the embouchure, so you should technically be able to, lift it into tune using your muscles, but it can help to open a key. So you might see me put my little finger on for one or two of them just to help open up. So here we go. There we go, altissimos. Check out the links in the description box. And hopefully this was useful for you. If it was, give it a good thumbs up. And if you want more of my videos, then subscribe. If you want me to talk about something in particular, do let me know in the comments box. And follow me on Twitter to see what I'm up to. Thanks, guys.